I'll call the meeting to order. Welcome everyone this morning. Have you had an opportunity to look at minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve minutes from previous meeting.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve minutes. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Agenda items?
We have a letter here prepared by the Calhoun County Drainage Engineer for legal defense fund solicitation purposes that probably should be considered.
Okay.
I'll amend to include that in the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to include a letter from the drainage person from Calhoun County. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the amended agenda. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We can go ahead and do some of our bottom agenda items. Considered contribution to the IDDA.
Well, we've got a letter from IDDA and it involves funding, and I guess, the way I understand it, BV, Zach, and Calhoun, all three of us are going to contribute $5,000 a year for 3 years to go into the legal defense fund for the suit that the Des Moines Water Works has filed against our counties.
IDDA and the counties have joined together to raise funds for this purpose, and that this contribution is a defense fund contribution that they've had a fund for years for that purpose, and we've agreed to do it together to pay for some of the costs that were accruing from this lawsuit. I think a lot of the counties, I guess I would suggest that we make our first year contribution.
Yeah.
And then do it on an annual basis. I think that's what most counties are doing, and I guess I would recommend that we address it that way.
This same issue is on the agenda today in Buena Vista County, I know, and it'll be brought up next week in Calhoun County.
Okay. Any other discussion? I would entertain a motion to consider that.
I'll make a motion to pay IDDA $5,000 this year for the defense fund of Des Moines Water Works.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. You'll cut that, Jim? Yep. Thank you. The second agenda item that pertains to the same situation is the three counties have solicited other counties through a joint effort with IDDA for contributions to this for this purpose, but now the three are considering this letter to be a consistent letter that we can ask private individuals and or industry for funds to help for this purpose, and we have a letter that has been prepared by Calhoun County that they're asking all three counties to approve, so we have a consistent asking when we approach private entities.
I want a motion?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the letter that was constructed by Calhoun County's drainage attorney to purpose being to solicit funds from private individuals.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'll sign that, and then we'll move forward with. I believe BV has been contacted with the same letter.
Yeah.
And Calhoun has approved it already, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Chloe, do you expect anyone else today?
No, just me.
Okay. Do you want to come forward?
I just thought with it being the middle of the year, I thought I'd just give an update of where SETD is doing. Region-wise, we had Janet Addy come, and she's a nationally known site selector, and she came for the region of Western Iowa Advantage, and she looked at our industrial park, along with many other sites around Western Iowa. And surprisingly, she said that our industrial park was one of the most ready. So if a business were to come in with utilities there and everything, and she helped with marketing, and we're also kind of in the process of redoing our marketing and kind of just getting ready as a region in case businesses were to come. Another thing we have going on is the Employer Educator Summit, which is the second year for that. We're combining schools and businesses. That way we're just kind of getting our high school and junior high students aware of what industries are here and what jobs are here. So there are jobs here for them to stay, including agriculture as well. So, you know, they don't have to go off and then go to a bigger city like Kansas City or something, or there is something back here for them as well. Just to kind of get an idea, because when we were talking last night, like when they get to 8th grade, I mean, they have to know, like, okay, this is what I'm doing in high school and college, and then they're off, and they really don't always have an idea of what is actually back here. For the first year, SCTD did the Business Retention Expansion Program. I thought this would be a good idea to get started for our county, as the surrounding counties have been doing it for quite a while. And what this program did is I visited 5 businesses of our larger businesses in Sac County, and it was completely confidential between me and them. And I asked them a questionnaire, and that lasts about an hour. It lists kind of concerns that they might have in the area, you know, how their business is doing, if that's changed at all in the past 3 to 5 years, or if they see changing it. The biggest concerns that they had that I kind of saw consistently was workforce, and how it's kind of hard to maybe, like, there might be 4 or 5 people short throughout the course of the year. Cell phone reception and internet was a big thing. And then a thing that I found interesting was post office changes, and how post office hours have been changing, and they kind of find that that might be a concern over the years as they sending stuff out. Overall, I think it was a really good program to have, and I'll just continue that from year to year and visiting other businesses as well.
Could I ask you a question, Chloe?
Yeah.
As far as, I think it doesn't surprise me that the workforce, so I mean, I think most folks are aware of that. As a group, are there plans to try and help with that situation, or I mean,
Right.
have you thought about it?
And Western Iowa Advantage, which is made up of 8 counties, we actually just had our meeting yesterday, and we talked about that too, and we said, you know, it's a big concern with everyone, and it's kind of like, do people follow jobs, or do jobs follow people? You know, if we get a business here that they want to employ, you know, let's say 300 people, are people going to start coming here because this business just opened up, or is the business going to open up because, you know, we might not even have, they might not have workforce. So, I mean, we're seeing it across the state, across, you know, the region and everything. It's just, yeah, I mean, how do we just drive people here in cars and say, you know, get here?
Well, I
That's
guess
what we're trying to, I mean, we're trying to figure that out too,
Okay.
as developers, is, you know, how are we getting people here? And that's the one thing with the Employer Educator Summit is, you know, telling, you know, the high schoolers and junior hires, like, you know, you can stay around here and there are possibilities here.
Yeah, I guess the reason for my question is that to think about some kind of an outreach, you know, your first concentration, of course, would be what you're already addressing in the county, but to spread that out, and how you might plan to do that.
Right. And yeah, I mean, we've talked about it at SCTD too, and like, I know I was talking to a business manager, and he said, well, what about posting at places where they've just laid off people, like in John Deere. You heard about that in like Northeast Iowa, and I said, that'd be a great idea, but I know everyone else is doing that same thing too. So it's like, what separates Sac County, from the rest of Iowa? And so I think just trying to continue to figure out what that is going to be the biggest course for anyone. So.
And then those are, I don't know if like workforce development can be helpful in those kind of, and just probably developing a plan to I'm not indicating that I have the answers. I just want you to think about, possibilities as to how we can reach out, and because I know I've been told directly that it's difficult for some to be able to attract the people they need.
Oh, definitely. Or even just to keep people too, for quite a while of time. But
some of the jobs don't pay, a lot, and so people are reluctant to move from point A to here, relocate their family. The wages, aren't. It's kind of a catch-20. A lot of industries locate here because of skilled, cheap labor, and that we've got almost zero unemployment in Carroll County and Sac County.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the lowest it's been.
Opening up in Jefferson and the two new expansion of Scranton, the garbage truck maker, and Bauer Building.
John Deere.
Yeah.
Plan.
And an interesting thing you mentioned, Jefferson, they're actually getting quite a few people to come to Jefferson. People are actually coming from Las Vegas to Jefferson to work at that casino.
Right?
Yeah, and I would have never thought that. And someone told me that, and I just was so surprised. So.
The cost of living is got
right. Oh yeah, the cost. Yeah,
more.
definitely.
So. I realize the wage ain't gonna be there either.
Yeah, I don't. Somehow.
Yeah. You wonder if you interviewed people like the HR people with like Hancock Pipe or Evapco, and how those people ended up in Sac County or Lakeview or Sac. I know, like at Hancock, I see guys getting off work, and you can kind of tell they work at Hancock because they got their lime green safety thing on, and they don't look like they grew up in Sac County. Mostly because of their culture. You wonder how they find their way to living in Lakeview and working in Hancock Pipe.
But I'm glad you're looking at that, because it is. I mean, that's kind of a front burner item.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that you continually look at, but it's just hard to know exactly what to do, or where to find the solution. And out of the 8 of us or I guess there's really only 5 of us there, but yeah, I mean, everyone just has that same problem, and it's just hard, and just trying to find that point and get the people here. So yes, if you do come up with a solution, let me know. The other big thing was the Hometown Pride program, which on June 11th we're having a county get-together. All of you are invited, as well as we're inviting every communities council, SETD, the foundations, just to kind of get everyone acquainted with the coach, Georgia, who I find she's going to really be a big benefit for the county and for all the communities as well.
That's 7 o'clock at the Oldie Bowl.
On the 11th.
Yep, 7 o'clock at the community center.
There'll be hors d'oeuvres and snacks, and then if you want to buy pop or beer, it'll be available.
Another thing we're in the process of is updating our website, and also looking at getting a logo made just to represent SETD. But for our website, just so I can make changes and we can update it more week to week rather than having to wait for it to get updated, and also changing it to maybe add a little more agriculture. People can add all their own events if they want to, and I'll approve them instead of me trying to find out everything that's going on in every community. We had the governor visit earlier in April, which you guys were all at, and I think that was really good of him to talk to Molly, you know, through the internet and kind of have our concerns there and getting to know that 20 is going to get accomplished here in the next coming years. I went to Transportation Day at the Capitol, which of course I went to a Highway 20 meeting where they kind of talked about it and really tried to influence everyone that this needed to get done. They also talked about 30 as well and making changes with that. And there I communicated with Gary Worthen and Mark Sigabart and, you know, just seeing where they are at with it and everything. And then updating Los, which has our industrial park and as well as a couple other buildings and properties for sale. So here in the future, of course, going to be looking at workforce, how to market to the younger generation, marketing and advertising, looking outside the box, and then communicating with smaller businesses also. I mean, it's nice to get businesses in the area, but also business retention is a big thing. And also, you know, letting them know that SCTD is here for them, because maybe a lot of times they just think larger businesses is just our main goal, but smaller too. And then, I mean, if they have a succession plan, like when they're going to be closing their doors, or if they've thought about that as well. And then also just maybe doing some innovative marketing with the industrial park too. So that's about it right now. Do you guys have any questions or stuff that you want to
Sounds like you've really
look into? I mean, again, workforce is the biggest thing, but it's just, you know, trying to find where it's all at. So
we're you mentioned the completion of Highway 20. They're visiting with the engineers as far as how they're going to detour and trying to figure some things out there, and we'll get that figured out. They're kind of in the preliminary discussion of that.
how is I guess I haven't really heard that much with 196. How's that going? Do you know?
Well, they're certainly battling the weather, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're probably pretty much on schedule. They're every opportunity they have, whether it's weekends or whatever, they're working at it. And,
They, you know, I crossed it yesterday coming back from Little.
oh, did you?
And they haven't started moving dirt, building the new road.
Well, on the north end, they've done quite a little.
Yeah, on that first mile.
Yeah,
But.
and then some on
Looks like there's
the south end.
Yeah. So-
In between the bridge and then to the north, they've moved quite a lot in between in the middle there.
Yeah, there's the one lady that was at the meeting last night. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
Well, there was gonna be a 4-lane. Well, because it was a pretty good road to begin with, and you know, it's just funny how people, you know, don't really know what the hell's going on, and they know it's an inconvenience, and they probably gotta get all the culverts buried, and then they start moving dirt.
And they're continuing to. I have most contact with the North Branch, but they're really.
You know, they've got one support done, and so then they get the other support done, and they probably start putting beams across.
And they're still slamming piling in. I've been hearing that off and on. So.
Okay.
From the agricultural side, have you heard or had any contact with USDA or any of the with the bird flu stuff that's going on?
No. Actually, Jim Gossett, he is part of our Western Iowa Advantage meetings, and he kind of brought that up. You know, he was really positive about it, and he said, you know, hopefully at the end of the week when we get some higher temperatures, it'll kind of hopefully get resolved. But I mean, there hasn't really been too much talk about it. I'm actually supposed to meet with the USDA here in a little bit. They contacted me in April when I wasn't working, but yeah, so.
I see and it's still moving, and governor extended his state of emergency. But it really just needs the heat.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd read somewhere that it needed like 10 days of 80 degrees to affect it.
I mean, I know egg prices have gone up, so it's something I've noticed.
How much are dozen eggs in the store?
Well, I saw an 18 pack is up to like 4 something. So.
And it's going to be, it's a domino effect, and I know from feed suppliers to people who are managing and working with the sites, and, they're going to be down for an extended period, so it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, I think they said that, I hope this is right, but it'll take like 3 years to recover, I want to say, after,
really?
yeah, so that, but.
And really the development of a vaccine is going to be huge because it can happen again.
Yeah, I think there's debate within the industry about vaccines. Some want to use vaccine, and some say it could be bad.
Really?
Right.
So
Well, thanks
Yeah.
for your work.
Thank you.
Sounds like you've been busy, and thank you for the report.
Yeah. I guess I haven't really talked to the city at all, but with the urban development, I mean, are you guys anywhere with that?
The last contact, Adam was here and had mentioned that now with the change in the code that they're now looking more like they need to develop a 28E arrangement rather than the contract that they were suggesting before. So I think it's back on the back burner because the state of Iowa code changed in some fashion. So.
We got a drainage repair.
In the note it says corn is emerged in the repair location, access from B46 in the bean ground to avoid crop damage. So that's good, I guess. To verify repair schedule to commencing work, district will not pay damages. So they must, if they can access it from the soybean side, must not need to do that, which is good, I guess.
I'll make a motion to approve this repair in the drainage district number 15, section 17, Coon Valley, for an estimate of $350.
I'll second.
Motion's just been made and seconded to approve the repair. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Any other business before the engineer arrives?
That's all I got.
Okay, we will recess until the engineer arrives.
Been waiting very long.
Excellent. Well, they didn't have a meeting over there.
They didn't. That's why I seen you had someone at 10:15, so I thought I'd try to get here around
Okay, that's
10:30
right.
and
I
hopefully
forgot about that then.
make it work.
They have a special election over there to fill the vacant spot in Calhoun.
Pretty short list today for me. As far as the county crews, replacing some driveway culverts on our driveway on Otter Avenue, half mile north of 370th. Doing some more graveling in Sac Township. several different tile repairs in Eureka, Douglas, and Delaware. Trying to still get some roads back into shape. It seems like the rains here have
It
really...
really helped. They worked on that one on Wadsley there.
Okay.
It helped dramatically.
Did it? Okay, good deal. I know there was still some soft spots. I don't know if it's frost boils yet or what it is,
They're
but
still showing up. I noticed, and they're all over.
They are. It's just been a bad spring. I mean, we're getting into summer and they're still there, but hopefully they'll start shaping up here pretty soon. But replacing road culvert in Viola on Roland Avenue, and finish seeding culvert and ditch repair areas. As far as project status, Highway 196, right now all the crossroads are currently open. I know they will be closing some of those again as they start hauling more material, but it has been raining about every 3 days, so they haven't accomplished a whole lot, I don't think. So, but I know that will start happening. But trying to keep everybody informed of that and when those roads close and whatnot. But paved roads are all open. They do have granular on D42 and D46 across those intersections. So I haven't heard of when they're planning on to do D36 yet. I told them we need to have plenty of advance warning on that one so we can get the word out. So, but maintaining the roads around that project area. I know Voss and 270th got hit pretty hard. They were hauling in some granular for moving their access road on Friday trying to get it done before the rain hit. And they really tore up that area. I know Mike had a guy out on Saturday afternoon and a guy out on Sunday afternoon trying to get them back into shape because he actually put road closed signs up for a little while because they were so bad. So
we farm along Voss, 5-6 miles south of D36 Old 20, and when we were farming down there, you'd be surprised how much traffic's on that. And there's a lot of traffic on it, and then the construction people are constantly going back and forth. It's no wonder they're taking a beating because
it's really getting used and abused. So with all this rain and everything, that doesn't help anything. But I know there's a lot of areas, even through the dust control areas, they had to do some repair too. So I'm sure that's going to come up eventually. But for right now, I think with all the rain that we're hitting, that's been kind of self-sufficing itself, I guess. So as far as dust control goes, throughout the rest of the county, Heffron has placed theirs. Pro-Co-op and Jericho have not yet. Still trying to find a good window for that because it seems like this rain that we've been having has been keeping the dust down for the most part, and this roads haven't been in real great shape. So I know Pro-Crop was looking at this later this week, but with the forecast the way it is, I'm guessing that's probably not going to be real good either.
Well, they kind of backed off some now.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, from the last one I saw, they're saying Tuesday night into Wednesday, possibly into Thursday, but the aggregate of the whole thing is considerably less than it was.
Okay.
And then once we get to Friday, it was cleared.
Really? That's great.
In the 7 day. And initially the aggregate was 1.5 to 2, and now it's way less than half that.
Really? Okay. And that's what I heard too. The last.
Providing they're accurate.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, I noticed Friday, my grader was out grading, and with the reduced week, they were that was like a overtime issue, or how did they handle? I mean, it's a good thing, that's the bad thing about it. A 4-day week, he was really accomplishing a lot because of the softness of the road and taking out washboards. But were they doing that all over the county or just down in my part of the township?
Well, I believe the way they do that, and I'll double check with Mike to make sure, but that week of Labor Day, I believe they work 4 8-hour days. So they work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8-hour days to go along with their one day of holiday. So it wouldn't have been overtime. So
that's a good arrangement.
So kind of getting the guys to adjust for 1 week, getting people to remind them. But other than that, I think it works pretty well. At least gives a way to still get some things accomplished. And
yeah, a lot better than not having them out 2 days.
Right. But yeah, really, other than that, I really don't have a whole lot. And there's some other things that are on my to-do list to get done. I've had some a wife and a kid that have been sick the last 4 or 5 days, so I've been trying to deal with that. So, but
Get things straightened out.
I think so. Getting a little better. So, a couple of ER visits later, we're doing good. So,
West of Odie
okay,
straight west, there's a dirt road, section 30 there.
okay,
It's Dan and Grant Snyder farm that, and the kids are going out there mud bogging down that dirt road when it's wet. Then they have to go out in Snyder's field, turn around and come back out. So, and they've talked to Mike Riddell and to Kerry Odman, the blade man,
okay,
and they'd like to have a gate put up, and they'll close it, you know, if it gets wet, but then they'll leave it open if it's dry.
okay,
We kind of have that same issue south of Whitley, on that dirt road that goes east and west.
okay,
And they'll do the same thing if they really get into a wet spot, then they'll go off in the field. It's a bad deal.
We put down in Viola, I'm trying to think southwest of Wally, there's a dirt road, and we put up 2 16-foot gates. And I think, you know, you can talk to Mike, it's worked out pretty well.
okay. Yeah, I'll talk to them about that. I wasn't aware of that.
Kind of
So
keep, people go on those dirt roads and they leave ruts, and we don't grade it.
that often, right?
Mike tries to grade that, you know, hardest time to get it smooth. It might be, you know, we've kind of set a precedent, we've done it before, the gates.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they want, but we're seeing that, and it's one thing to stay on the road, but when they start going into crop,
Oh yeah, that's
And he said it wouldn't be bad if they just turned around, but they gotta go out and do a couple donies out there, you know, and
yeah, that's shouldn't be that.
that's aggravating.
No, I'll definitely talk with Mike about that and see what we can get accomplished there.
that'd be great. Thanks, Zach.
Yep, thank you.
Any other business? Nope.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye.